One evening, I was imagining what it would be like to play basketball with Jesus. In my imagination, the gym was quiet, except for the sound of a basketball bouncing across the shiny wooden floor. Bright lights reflected on the court, and the air smelled like fresh wood and sneakers. I sat in my wheelchair near the sidelines, holding the basketball carefully in my lap. Across the gym stood a real basketball hoop with a white net hanging from it. Near the wall sat a trash can. I used both. Sometimes I practiced shooting into the trash can because the real basketball hoop was too high and difficult for me. Still, I enjoyed playing in my own way. I quietly whispered, "Jesus, I wish I could play basketball like everyone else." Then I heard footsteps echo through the gym. I looked up and imagined Jesus walking toward me with a warm smile on his face. His white robe gently moved as he walked across the court. "Who says you are not playing?" he asked kindly. I looked down at my wheelchair. "I cannot run like everyone else," I admitted softly, "and I never made it into the real hoop." Jesus picked up the basketball and bounced it once. The sound echoed gently through the empty gym. "Basketball is not only about making difficult shots," he said softly. "It is about joy, perseverance, and trying." He pointed toward the trash can near the wall. "Show me your shot." I smiled nervously and rolled my wheelchair closer. I lifted the basketball carefully and tossed it toward the trash can. The ball bounced against the edge, then dropped perfectly inside. Jesus clapped happily. "Very nice," he said. I smiled. Then I looked over at the real basketball hoop hanging high above the court. "I wish I could make that one," I admitted quietly. Jesus looked at the hoop too. "Maybe you cannot make every shot," he said gently, "but that does not make your game any less meaningful." His words stayed in my heart. For the next hour, in my imagination, Jesus passed the basketball back and forth with me across the gym floor. Sometimes I made the trash can shot. Sometimes I missed badly, and we both laughed together. At one point, I tried aiming for the real hoop again, even though I already knew it was too hard for me. The ball flew upward, but fell far short of the basket. I looked down quietly for a moment, but Jesus smiled kindly at me. "You still tried," he said. "That matters." At that moment, sitting in my wheelchair on the basketball court in my imagination, I realized something important. Joy was not about being perfect or doing everything everyone else could do. Joy was about continuing anyway. Afterward, Jesus sat beside my wheelchair near the court as the gym lights glowed softly around us. I looked down at the basketball resting quietly in my lap. "Sometimes I feel hurt and lonely inside," I admitted softly. Jesus looked at me kindly. "Tina," he said gently, "you are precious." Tears filled my eyes as peace slowly settled into my heart. At that moment, I remembered the words Father Abraham once told me, that I was precious in God's sight and that I was a blessing to this world. The gym became quiet again as I held the basketball in my lap, feeling comforted by the reminder that even during difficult and lonely moments in life, Jesus still stayed beside me. The real basketball hoop still stood high above the court, and the trash can still sat near the wall. But neither one defined my worth, because my worth came from being loved by God.